As many of you know, March has been declared Disability Awareness Month in the state of Indiana, right? So, last night, I just happened to be in the shower, the place where I normally vocalize to a great degree, and also the place where I normally get a lot of inspiration for, what I plan to do and many of those grand ideas of which I often speak. Last night was no exception. And I was thinking, as a blind person, and given the fact that it's Disability Awareness Month in Indiana, why shouldn't I do something in the form of outreach to promote, disability awareness on the internet? Because, we all know how much of a social media maven I am of late, so it seemed a perfect fit. And so I thought, yeah, why not? Let's go for it. So, this video marks the first in a set of videos that I'm calling Through My Eyes. So let me just kind of summarize how this is going to work. I'm going to be spending the majority of these video casts, vidcasts, vodcasts. I'm going to be spending a majority of this video series discussing what it's like for me as a visually impaired person to navigate a world that's largely designed for the sighted. I'll be discussing issues such as adaptive technology, which basically means how I use my computer, how I use my cell phone, and things like that. Orientation and mobility, which is basically how I get around the physical environment. And the social angle on blindness, which involves, again, the stigmas related to visual impairment and how people often tend to react differently to me. Yeah, I know that one subject is probably going to get a little bit, going to be a bit of a snarky podcast on my part, so forgive me in advance. So anyway, I'll be discussing other topics along the way as well as I think of them. This podcast is, like most of my vlogs tend to be, is going to be a very stream of consciousness kind of thing. I'm just going to sit here and talk to you in a really relaxed way and try to explain things as best I can. And, oh yeah, I also forgot. At the end of each of these videos, I plan to include a segment called Q&A time. Now, Q&A time, as you might guess, is question and answer time. It means question and answer time. And so who's going to provide the questions? That's right. You are. So, you can ask me any kind of questions about my visual impairment or about blindness in general. You can ask me questions about, very broad disability awareness related issues, including accessibility and social stigma and all that sort of thing. I won't be able to answer any specific questions, say like, the particular set of genes that are responsible for causing Asperger's syndrome. I obviously don't have direct experience with that, and so I won't know these things. But, just general disability-related issues I can certainly answer. Certainly within the podcast, along with talking about my own experiences as a blind person, I'll also be talking about sort of just the general blind experience. I certainly am well acquainted with the blindness community, and as many of you probably already know, the blindness community is very diverse, not only in terms of background and interest and such, but blindness covers a wide variety of visual loss conditions and of visual acuities. And so not every blind person is going to be able to interact with his or her world in the same way that I do. Again, these people come from different visual acuity levels, they come from different backgrounds, different experiences. And so I'll be talking about that very briefly as well. And so yeah, the podcast series, whatever you want to call it, is called Through My Eyes, and I hope you have fun with it. Regarding, again, the Q&A time, feel free to ask questions, people. As many of you who follow me on Twitter know, I'm very open to answering any questions you may have. There are no stupid questions. Even if you think your question is stupid, it's not stupid. So just, send it my way. you can send questions to either my Twitter account, which is the same, I use the same screen name as I do here on YouTube, Aurora Nebulosa, all one word. Or you can simply reply, or comment, I guess, at the end of each of my YouTube videos, and I will try during Q&A time at the end of each video that I post to answer them, or at least answer as many as I can. So yeah, that's pretty well what's going to be going on. So I hope you enjoy it, have fun with it, and I hope you learn a lot. See you later.